Hello, my name is Evan Owen. Welcome to the tutorial on Longwood Managed Apartment Registration at the Office of Residential and Commuter Life for the 2019-2020 academic year. Longwood Managed Apartment Registration takes place between February 11th to February 22nd. All students planning to register with roommates must create a roommate group and accept membership in that group for the Student Housing Gateway prior to the registration date. In order to live in a Longwood Managed apartment, through this process, full occupancy is required to register for any apartment space. All spaces must be filled by continuing residential students. Housing registration is conducted each day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the Student Housing Gateway. Students will need to enable pop-ups on the web browser in order to access the gateway. Each group will select a designated roommate who will register the group for an assignment. The designated roommate must ensure that all members of the group have accepted the invitation to join the group in order to pull in as roommates to the registration process. Those students that do not have enough roommates to fill an apartment to full occupancy can submit a partial occupancy form, and the RCL office will assign the students to a space at the end of the apartment registration process. Squatting registration takes place between February 11th, 12th, and 13th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the Student Housing Gateway. Students that plan to return to the same studio, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or 4-bedroom apartment must register during the designated registration dates. Designated roommate must be currently assigned to the actual apartment unit. Full apartment occupancy is required at Lancer Park North and South, and the Landings. Longwood Village does not require full occupancy to squat the apartment unit. Full occupancy is required at Longwood Village on senior, junior, and sophomore registration dates. Only continuing residential students are eligible to live at Lancer Park North and South, the Landings, and Longwood Village. Those students that squat and return to the same bedroom are eligible to participate in summer storage. Studio Lottery. Submit lottery application between February 11th to February 13th through Student Housing Gateway. All lottery submissions must be received by February 13th at 4 p.m. Only continuing residential students that have earned at least 56 completed credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester are eligible to submit the lottery application. Applicants will be notified regarding the lottery results by 12 p.m. on Thursday, February 14th. Senior apartment registration. Seniors will register for apartments between February 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. The designated roommate must have earned at least 89 credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to assign, self, and other residents within the selected apartment unit. Full occupancy is required at Lancer Park North and South, the Landings, and Longwood Village to register for an apartment unit. Only continuing residential students are eligible to live at Lancer Park North and South, and Longwood Village. Junior apartment registration day will take place February 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. The designated roommate must have earned at least 56 credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to assign self and other residents within the selected apartment unit. Full occupancy is once again required. Sophomore apartment registration day will be February 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the Student Housing Gateway. Designated roommate must have at least 25 credits at the conclusion of the spring 2019 semester in order to assign self and other residents within the selected apartment unit. Full occupancy is once again required. The partial occupancy form. Any continuing residential student who is unable to register for an apartment space is eligible to submit a partial occupancy form. The partial occupancy form will be available in the Student Housing Gateway on February 21st and February 22nd. Forms received will be rank ordered by completed credit hours, and students will receive notification to their Longwood email account once they have been assigned to a housing space. A few helpful reminders as you go through the apartment registration process. The C bedroom at Longwood Village will now be single occupancy, but the double set of furniture will remain in the space. Therefore, all Longwood Village apartments will house exactly 3 students, 1 in each bedroom. The housing rates for the 2019-2020 year are published at longwood.edu/housing. Students should discuss these with their family or financial provider prior to housing registration. All students that register for housing are signing a legally binding agreement. All students are encouraged to review the published housing terms and conditions, which will be found at longwood.edu/housing. Students can access the Student Housing Gateway through the RCL website or directly at the following web link. We advise all students to have a backup plan moving forward. What will your group do if your first choice is no longer available when you register? Is your roommate group set up correctly? Please ensure these things prior to your registration date to ensure best chances of getting the apartment you desire. Make sure you have pop-ups enabled to properly utilize the Student Housing Gateway. The total number of apartment units that remain after each registration date will be posted on the RCL website. Make sure your roommates have all accepted membership in your roommate group prior to your registration date.